Welcome to FBB Forum. I'm a proud sponsor of the 2026 O Dynasty coming up in a few weeks on April 4th. So make sure you guys get your tickets or the live stream, and that's coming up really soon. So make sure you get that. I'm very pleased to welcome the amazing IFBB figure pro Kayla Forcier to the podcast, or Forcier. Kayla is competing at the O in just a few weeks, and she really looks fantastic. She last competed in 2023 at the San Antonio Pro and Hurricane Pro shows for her pro debut year, and she earned her pro card at the 2021 USA's. Kayla lives in Fargo, North Dakota, and has her own coaching business. Stay tuned to find out more about this amazing athlete. Thank you for joining me, Kayla. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you. No, I appreciate it. And I mentioned you're one of two people I've interviewed from North Dakota. The other was Bree Sellers, but I
hmm
don't think there's too many bodybuilders up there in North Dakota, maybe.
Not a whole lot of us. There's a few pros here, a few that are not active anymore, but yeah, we're few and far between up here in North Dakota.
I understand. Yeah. I was telling you too before, because I live in Tampa, our whole county in Tampa is bigger population than the whole state of North Dakota, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, North Dakota is very much farm country and like very spread out. Even like Fargo, where I live, like it's a very widespread city, but it's like a
Uh-huh.
big small town basically.
Yeah, that's a lot. That would be a lot different. It would take some adjusting to be in a smaller city like that or smaller state too. But
Yeah. I mean,
that's
we have everything you need. It's just we don't have like we have our downtown area, but it's like a street and then it's like there's some bars and stuff. There's some cool stuff, some like historical type things and like it that's about it. So, yeah.
I bet it would be nice up there. It'd be cold though, I bet too. Yeah.
It gets cold, very cold. Like
Uh-huh.
sub like -30
Oh my
sometimes.
gosh. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That would really be take some adjusting for me as a Florida native, I think. Yeah.
Oh yeah. When people visit here from like warmer places, I'm like, why are you in North Dakota? Like, just because I'm always curious of like why people come here of all places, and like sometimes you get some crazy answers, but a lot of times it's like family or work sent me up here for this or that kind of thing. So,
I could see wide open spaces being a positive too. It's kind of nice. Yeah.
oh yeah, we
Yeah.
have beautiful sunsets. Like the sunsets that we get sometimes are just gorgeous. So, and my boyfriend works like out in the field, so he always sending me pictures and stuff. Well, he used to work in the field, not so much anymore, but
Uh-huh.
when he did, he'd send me lots of pictures, and so really pretty.
That's really cool. Very cool. Yeah. So I was curious, how did you get started or did you have an athletic or sports background before you started competing in bodybuilding?
Yeah, I actually I was a gymnast for basically my whole life. I started in kindergarten, took a break after like fourth grade because I was really competitive, and I was so competitive that I like made myself sick being
Oh,
like I'm not there enough at the gym. Like I got to keep practicing. And so my mom was like, we got to like stop. And then
oh
I
wow.
came out, and then I went back into gymnastics like for high school, in 10th grade. And then I ended
Okay.
up going to state with my team, junior and senior year. And then I also played volleyball, played a little bit of basketball when I was a kid. I played fast pitch softball. So like I've always had sports, been active, competitive, all of that kind of stuff.
That's so cool. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, gymnastics is really good. That's kind of a good base for bodybuilding because you kind of gives you those girls always have some muscle going on, with all the training and everything that y'all do.
Yeah, yeah, and that was pretty much like why I start like because I started in figure. I've never done any other division because
Hmm.
I already had shoulders and like I couldn't pose like a bikini girl at the time, so I was like, there's no way I could like move my hips like that. So I was like, let's just do like the figure poses. Like that seems like I can handle that.
That's cool. Yeah. And you mentioned, if you don't mind me mentioning your height, you said you're 4'9".
Yep, 4'9", a
And a
whole
lot,
whopping
a
big person.
lot of the gymnasts, the elite gymnasts are relatively short like that too, though, it seems like. So
Hmm.
I think it's probably an advantage for center of gravity and that sort of thing too, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. In gymnastics, like, if you're a taller person or you probably, I mean, there's a few that have made it pretty far, but typically gymnasts are a little shorter.
Yeah.
And in some cases too, for like girls like that go to like the Olympics and stuff like that, they have been doing gymnastics so much that it actually like hinders their growth plates and they end up becoming shorter because of just all the like jarring and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
So, not that I think that that happened to me because I think I've just always been little and I just am short and that's just how it ended up. And now I'm just
Sure.
my friends call me a little muscle nugget and or a muscle hobbit because I'm short. It's like short like a hobbit.
I like that. That's cool. That's awesome. Um, how did you end up getting started in weight training and bodybuilding? And who convinced you to do your first contest?
So I started weight training in college because sports were done. I didn't play sports in college. I knew I was going to be too competitive to want to do intramural sports. So I was like, I'm just going to go train with weights. Like I'm going to try that out and stuff. And I wanted to still be in shape and, I wanted to be healthy and everything. And I didn't know a ton about like training or anything like that. I just kind of started doing it. And then I worked with a trainer at like what was it? Snap Fitness for like a summer. And like he's like, like Kayla, he's like, you could do a bodybuilding show. And I was like, but isn't that like girls that are like huge and look manly? Because like I didn't know. He's like, no, there's this division called figure. He's like, you would probably do great at it. And I was like, well, like I like could lose some weight, like because I was kind of like I say chubby, like I wasn't overweight or anything like that. I just was not very confident in how I looked. I had like self-esteem issues and stuff as like a young girl and everything, and I didn't know how to eat properly. And so I was like, I could learn how to do this and everything and be better in that aspect. So
Yeah.
I was like, let's put myself out of my comfort zone. Like, let's try it and just kind of go from there. I had never been to a show, I had never done it. And so I did 2015 was my first show, and I did the NANBF Mr. and Miss Natural in Minnesota.
Oh, yeah. Oh, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that you did figure for that?
Yep, I've always done figure, never any other division.
Wow. When did you switch over to NPC?
So I did 2015 and 2016, I did that same show. I coached myself, and then 2016, I won the whole show. So I won my like natural pro card. And
Oh,
I was like, there's got to be more. Like, and then was going to move to Fargo because of school. Um, my grad program, and I knew of like a gym that was here that was like pretty popular, and I was like, oh, this sounds like really cool. And I started to really get into bodybuilding more and stuff and just learning more about the sport in as a whole. And I was like, I want to go to like the NPC because like those people, like it's not tested and stuff. And like, but I'm still gonna like coach myself, stay natural, like all that kind of stuff. So I did my first NPC shows in 2017, and I took the overall at both of the shows that I did
wow. Terrific.
as
Very
a
cool.
natural. So like, I thought that was pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I bet it was in terms of NPC, um, did you find it was the competition was tougher than the natural shows? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. The first show I ever did, I had no idea what to expect. I was not lean enough, like I didn't know anything because I'd never been to a show either. And the thing that like was told to me like from a judge at that show, the first one I did was like a judge came up to me and he's like, if you were leaner, you'd be dangerous. And
Ah,
me being competitive and like I gotta get better, like I was like, all right, I'm like, bet. And so I took that and I ran with it. And then the next year I won the show. And so then I was like, okay, well, like let's make this harder, like let's go to the NPC. And it was definitely tougher, more close competition kind of stuff. And then so I did
yeah.
2017, and then I did 2018. I did junior nationals and USA's. Yes, junior
Oh,
nationals and USA's that year.
okay.
So yeah, learned a lot.
That's awesome. Very cool. I was curious, do you have like a fitness role model or somebody that you really look up to in bodybuilding?
Um, that's a good question. I guess throughout the years it's like changed here and there. I guess when I first started, like I found Dana Lynn Bailey, and Nicole Wilkins like on Instagram and stuff, and like they were like the first two like fitness people that I followed really.
Hmm.
Um, and then like as I've gotten more into bodybuilding and more know who more people are and stuff, like I would probably say like Dorian Yates is one of my favorite bodybuilders of all time. I just really
Yeah,
like his mentality and his, perseverance and like his story and stuff, his mindset. Um, and then like I guess another one like current would be like Sean Clarita, just because he's, the giant killer and I'm small too. And like I've actually met Sean, and like I know him now and stuff. And he remembers who I am and everything. So like I would consider us friends, of course, like which is pretty cool. And like he's just a very down to earth, like human. And I'm like, despite all the successes you have, like this is how someone should act. Like they just treat everyone as a person. So I guess those two would probably be the biggest that I look up to as far as like mindset, how I treat people, like goals as far as bodybuilding.
that's awesome. Yeah, I actually saw Sean at the Mutant booth at the Arnold, and yeah,
Hmm.
he is a super nice guy, and he's great with the fans. He really
Oh yeah.
appreciate the fans very much, and
Hmm.
yeah,
Yep. He will remember your name and he will like remember who you are. Like that's super awesome.
his physique is great too. He's amazing.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he really is a giant killer. He's amazing.
Yep, I agree. I agree. And that's again why like I like him because he's like, small, like, but he defied the odds kind of thing. So I like to try to think like I can do it too.
Sure. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. Um, and yeah, Dana Lynn Bailey and Nicole Wilkins are great too. And they come up a lot when I ask this question actually. So they're very inspiring to many people.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, I think Dana was probably like one of the like first like kind of like fitness influencers, if you want to call it that.
yeah.
Because,
Uh-huh.
she was the first Miss Olympia and she, kind of paved the way for like women to go into this more make it more mainstream, I guess I should say.
I think you're right. Yeah, she did. And she has a great look. I was pleased that she got, the first Physique Olympia.
Hmm.
So yeah, she's amazing. I was curious when you first started competing, was it tough for you to get up on stage in a bikini for your first show? Was it a little nerve-wracking or nervous for you?
Yeah, I would say so. I think any person getting up on stage in a small bikini like is a little bit like, okay, I'm getting up on stage to be judged in a bikini. Like, and that's kind of like what you have to look at when you start bodybuilding is like you're literally just being judged on how you look. So
Yeah.
that was something big I had to make sure that I told myself that I could do and not take it personally.
Hmm.
Because if a lot of people do, like it can really be like a downfall in like your mental health and stuff. And if you are going to
Hmm.
base your value on like what other people think of you, then you probably shouldn't do this sport. But
Yeah.
I was
Hmm.
able to really just be like, I'm just going to do this for myself and I'm just going to put myself out there and like just try it and see if I like it. And this is for me, not to impress anybody or to do anything else besides that. And so, as long as I think having that mindset, like it made it so much easier, and then just taking it as like genuine feedback on like what can I do to improve.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's one thing I do like about bodybuilding shows that the judges are willing to talk to you generally and give
Hmm.
you good constructive feedback because they want you to improve
Hmm.
and they're open to giving that feedback, I think, too, which is good.
Hmm.
Um, Now, in terms of competing, I saw that you earned your pro card at the 2021 USA's. I was curious, what was your experience like at that show, and did you have a good Iron Sisterhood backstage there?
Yeah, it was great. That was a super fun show. It was my fourth show of the season, so I had like
Wow.
really been going for my pro card that year. And the girls backstage were nice, of course. I've had, met people from doing other shows too that I'm still friends with, that I still talk to and everything.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, everyone pretty much is just there like it's definitely more of like a serious tone backstage because everyone's there to compete, not just to like, I just want to try this for fun or I just wanted to like XYZ. Like there's a little bit more that goes into it because people actually know what they're trying to work towards at a
Yeah,
national show versus like a regional show.
that's true.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of having a little bit more of that. And then everyone's pretty much just like, oh, where are you from? Like, how long have you been in prep? Like, whatever. Like, what are you going to eat after the show? Like, little things like that and stuff. And then, so it
That's
was always good.
that's very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you were class A and but those class H girls must have like towered over you.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, that always happens. Like, I'm always class A. I always was class A no matter what because I'm not even close to 5'2". So, like,
Yeah.
there was no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm like, y'all don't even need to hype me. You just know I'm going to be too short. And then, uh, yeah, standing up there at the overall with all those girls, it was just like, whew, these are some tall ladies. And like,
Yeah.
even as a pro, like getting on stage with other girls too is like a little intimidating just because there are girls that are like so much taller and like just big. And like, they're like 150 pounds on stage. And I'm like a whopping like 108 pounds. And I'm like,
Wow.
here I am.
That's a
I'm
huge
huge.
difference. Yeah, that would be a big difference for sure. And yeah, especially I could see that competing for the overall like that because you'd have quite a height difference amongst all those classes and everything.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yep. Which is also a reason why I love figure because it's not dependent on like the size. Like it's your
Yeah,
proportion, it's your overall flow, your muscle density and stuff. It's not necessarily just like how big are you?
that's true. Yeah, you looked really balanced on stage from the pictures I saw. You look great.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you.
you're welcome. And then you competed at San Antonio and Hurricane Pro for your pro debut year in 2023. What was your experience like at those shows?
Both of those shows were ran very well. As a pro, coming from like an amateur to a pro, it was like not even night and day difference, but like you kind of just get a little bit extra like special treatment with stuff. Like it was nice to be able to have a specific time that we're going on stage. It was nice to have a specific like we get kind of like priority in like tanning and whatnot. So that was really nice.
Mm,
Again, the girls backstage were all super nice.
mm, great.
I've again met other girls that I still talk to and everything, and we support each other and whatnot. And like, I think that's the biggest thing of like when people get a little bit uppity about who's competing against who, it's like, you're not like, yes, we're all competing against each other, but we don't make that choice like the judges do. So, like, why are you going to be mad at each other or
Yeah,
something? When I hear about these little pettiness or anything like that going on, it's like, why does it really matter? Like, because you're not
yeah.
making the decision. Like, just we're all here. We all went through the process. It was hard. So, like, just enjoy it and just have fun with each other?
I did have a theory though about with making bodybuilding more exciting, and you could have like with pro wrestling where it would be fake beef though. It wouldn't be like a real beef. And it's like backstage with the mic and the camera, it'd be like, I'm challenging, Kayla to a
Mm-hmm.
duel, this kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just being silly too. But it would make it kind of interesting.
It
Um,
would. It would be definitely, people love drama. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we all saw the stuff going on with Martin from the Arnold. Like, we all
yeah,
love drama, but like, in the end, like, we're all just people. We're all just trying to do this goal and do this thing. And it's just like, sometimes emotions get a little the better of us, and like, that's okay. Like, we're all
yeah,
humans.
that's true. Yeah, the Sarah versus Natalia beef is kind of interesting.
Oh gosh, I just can't even.
Yeah, I'm like, well, I'm over that. I'm kind of done with that. It's kind of,
Hmm.
yeah,
Hmm.
but I do find it interesting too. So, but yeah, oh well. If the real bodybuilding housewives of USA or something, that's where the beefs could come in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So I was curious, for the your pro debut year, did you get any feedback from the judges on where to improve your physique or your presentation?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of already knew what my feedback was going to be because I just didn't come in conditioned enough. And I knew that.
Yeah.
It kind of was sad because I didn't realize it until I was there at the show and I was like, I'm not lean enough. And then it just kind of like, I was pretty disappointed like we all come to win and we all come to do our best, and it wasn't my best. And, you know, I'm not gonna put it all on like the coaching techniques that were made. Like there were some mistakes made for sure, but like I also was going through a really stressful time in my life. Like my dad got brain cancer and passed away in 2023.
Oh no.
I
I'm
went through
sorry.
a divorce in 2023. So like
Mm.
bodybuilding was like the only thing I had that I could like control essentially. And so it
Yeah.
probably wasn't the best time, but at the same time I was like I needed to just do it. Um,
Yeah, I understand.
so, I knew I needed to be more conditioned. So the second show when I came in at Hurricane, I was more conditioned. I still got like third call outs. So not great, but it was better than where I was for San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
So I'm glad I did that for myself. And then, coming into this year, I was like, like I know I can do better. I know I can come in with a better package overall. And so that's like what we're doing this year. And um, so yeah, it wasn't, I mean, everyone hopes that their like pro debut is like you get top five and like, or you win a show and like you're the unicorn that just like stands out. Like we all want to make an impression, but that's
Yeah.
just not the reality in most cases. Like you're going from winning a show to like being the little peon that's like starting over at the bottom again.
Yeah. Plus, the judges really don't know who you are, too. I
Nope.
do think there's something to for judge familiarity and
Hmm.
to know who you are, and I think that makes a big difference. So I think you have to have a few pro shows under your belt as well. So no, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. Because at both shows I did, there was Olympians there. Like, I believe Nicole Graham was there at one of that San Antonio, and then Autumn Cleveland was there. Like, so they're both like pretty well known, like Olympians. Like, they do
That's
a lot of
true.
shows. So like,
Yeah.
it is something to say. Like, it's just the human nature of like, oh, I'm recognize this face. Okay, I know this person. Like, and versus somebody who's new and not quite conditioned. That's like, like, okay, she's gonna go over here.
Yeah, I think yeah, I do think that you have to get a few shows under your belt before the judges
Hmm.
really recognize you and reward you too.
Yep.
No matter how good you come in, I still think that's true for new athletes, so
Hmm.
um, um now in terms of competing at the Triple O in a couple weeks, that's very exciting. And I was curious, what improvements have you made to your physique and presentation since you last competed in 2023?
I'm definitely coming in bigger, which is nice, bigger and leaner. So my weight should be up a few pounds from where I was at for San Antonio or for the Hurricane.
Okay.
Because right now I'm sitting about like I was like 109 this morning, and then for the Hurricane I was like 107 on stage, and I'm
Okay.
leaner now. So that's awesome. I've made improvements to my legs, my lats, my back, uh, especially like my hamstrings and glutes. That's always been a hard spot to come in for me. I think I was
Okay.
just lacking density. So, really my feedback has always just been like I'm really good overall. Like I have a good shape, proportionate. I'm not like lacking in one area or another. It's just get bigger and more density overall. And that just comes with time.
Sure. That's cool. Yeah. Do you do a lot of posing practice too? I think the posing practice
Yes.
is important too. Yeah.
Yep. Feeling much better about posing. Like I was happy with my posing routine at my pro debut, but I feel like now it has a little bit more of like extra to it, not like over the top, but like just feel more confident and like it flows better. And I also help my clients with posing, and I pose other people too, with like bikini and wellness, and learning those divisions for posing has helped my figure posing immensely because like just the
Oh yeah.
flow is much
Oh,
better now.
that's cool. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, that makes sense actually that it would help out,
Hmm.
your posing as well. Huh. That's very cool. Um, I was curious if there's any advice you could provide to ladies who are seeking to earn their pro card. I know it takes a lot of hard work and dedication, but any other advice you could provide?
Oh boy. Um, if I could wrap this all up in one thing to say, it's just like don't be in a rush, I guess. Because when you're in a rush, you miss the process, and like the process is the fun part. And like I was always so like I gotta get my pro card, I gotta get it, and like I did get it, but like you also like learn so much along the way, and like you also don't want to let go of like your morals and values. And like if by getting a plastic trophy or a status update of like where you're at in the ranks is like not worth like your health or especially your hormonal health and stuff, because that was something that I really messed up on when I was young and I was coaching myself, is I didn't know anything about hormones. And
Hmm.
I basically was menopausal at like 24 years old.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to like fix that and get back on track with it. And
Hmm.
that was like worse than any prep I'd ever done. So you just feel like crap. And it's like, you just don't want to sacrifice that in like the long term. So focus on your long-term health is probably like my biggest piece of advice. And, this is a hobby. Like this is not, especially as like a figure athlete, you're not going to make millions of dollars doing this. Like this
Hmm.
is a
That's true.
hobby, essentially. Like it can be a fun, serious hobby, but that's what it is. So don't spend your life trying to do that.
Sure, sure. I totally understand that. Yeah. And I know of ladies who've had some of the hormonal issues like you talked about, and they
Hmm.
like sap you of your strength and everything. It's just like, and
I've seen it so often, and like with my clients and stuff, we get lab work. We are very on top of everything. I make sure that I help them, and like we do look for their overall health, as much as possible. Like going into a prep, this is not healthy, like obviously. But so you have to know the risks also, but then like looking forward and recovering from that in the end is like the biggest thing. So that's like my goal as a coach too, is that I want to make sure my athletes are healthy and that I'm
Mhm.
looking out for them in the long run too, but also reaching their goals and pushing them to a potential, that they never saw that they could do,
That's good. That's good to look out for their health for sure. That's very important, I think. Yeah.
especially for women.
Yeah, no, I know. Um, I was curious, what do you think is your best muscle group and what do you think needs the most improvement of your muscle groups?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say it used to be my back was like the one I was most proud of, but I would say now it's my legs. Like I've really worked hard on bringing those up. I'm really proud of like it's always fun to see like quad splits. Like that is like the most fun thing in prep for me is like when
Yeah.
the quads start coming in and your legs start coming in, you're like, yeah, like this is awesome. Like more so than abs or in anything. I would say probably the thing I need some work on would be probably a little bit more glutes and a little bit more shoulders, and just
Mhm.
density overall. But again, density comes with time, training. But shoulders, you can never have big enough shoulders in figure.
Oh
And
yeah. Yeah, that's
yeah.
true. Yeah, and that looking for that V taper, I think the shoulders really helps.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um had if you don't mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31? Oh, okay, cool. You're just
Yeah.
a young whippersnapper.
Yeah. I've been doing this since I was 20, so
Oh,
long
so
time.
yeah, you got a lot of experience with it now, which is cool.
My
Yeah,
basically my entire adult life has been bodybuilding.
that's cool. Very cool. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Um, and in terms of, you mentioned you have a coach now.
Hmm.
Who are you working with now?
I work with Luke Miller from No Switch Fitness. He's also with John Jewett for J3 University.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They co-own that and stuff. So I work with Luke. I've worked with him since March of 2024. So we're coming up on 2 years now.
2 years. Oh, very cool. Yeah, you like working with him?
Love it. Like he's been great, great mentor, great coach, very professional, straight to the point, doesn't hand out just like cheering comments all the time, like because I don't want that, but very honest, because that's what I want. I asked him when I first started, I was like, do you think I have like what it takes or potential to be, at the Olympia? And he told me his honest answer, and I was like, all right, well, let's go. So, um,
Awesome.
I really appreciate that, and someone that's not going to just blow smoke up my ass.
That's great. No, I think that's good, especially with a coach, I think. Yeah, to be honest with you
Hmm.
and yeah. And do you have a posing coach too, or do you work with him as opposing?
He looks over my posing just to make sure that there's nothing he has. I've done a lot of it myself this year, but I worked with Kate Lane out of Illinois. She's
Okay.
great. I've worked with her since I turned pro because I worked with her that year. So since 2021, I've worked with Kate.
Oh,
Um, and now it's kind of just little sessions here and there when I like need her feedback and stuff. But I've done a lot of my posing on my own now this year, but she is my my lady. I love her.
Terrific. I'm not familiar with her. I'll definitely look her up though.
She runs NPC Illinois. And
Oh,
she runs a couple shows. She's a posing coach. She's a judge, national level judge. Um, she's she's awesome. So she has lots of knowledge. She's also a
oh,
figure pro, also a
oh
figure
yeah.
pro too. So,
Oh, I'll definitely look her up. Yeah, I'm not familiar with her. That's pretty cool though.
mhm.
And you have your own coaching business. That's Valkyrie, right?
Yep, yep. Valkyrie Fit is my coaching business. So me and my boyfriend Tyler, we coach clients out of there, and then I have another coach underneath of us as well that helps us with it with athletes and everything. So it's growing, which is fun. We just want to keep it growing some more and keep helping athletes and lifestyle clients as well, and keep
Great.
building.
How long have you had your coaching business?
I've been online coaching since 2020. So because of
Wow.
COVID.
Uh-huh.
Had to kind of just get pushed to online coaching a little bit faster than I probably would have been, but all in all, it was like for the better, like because now I can be much more efficient with my time, help more people, reach further across like the US and the world. So that's awesome.
Do you work with in-person people too?
Yes, sometimes, not as much anymore. We do have quite a few local clients. So Tyler really likes the in-person stuff. So he's great with training and stuff. So he does a lot of our training programming and everything
Hmm.
for athletes. And then he'll meet with them and go through stuff. I will go through stuff with them too. If he can't do it one day, I do posing in person or via like FaceTime or something. So it just kind of like depends on their area. Like if they're around here, I can help them out.
Okay.
If not, and they want to do some sessions, like we can do it virtual. But I do take videos from all of my clients for training footage because I want to review that as well.
And is Tyler a bodybuilder as well?
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not? Oh, yeah.
No, he's been in the gym since he was about 12 or 13.
Wow.
So around bodybuilders and stuff. But he's ex-military, so he's been through all of that training. He was pro strongman and stuff, so he's been through that.
Oh,
He has
wow.
a lot of experience and a lot of knowledge in many areas of training. So he trains like a bodybuilder now. So he's kind of done like a lot of hybrid type training and changed up his training methods throughout time and everything. So he's very knowledgeable.
Very cool. That's great. Very cool. Um, and in terms of y'all work with lifestyle clients as well?
Yep.
I do. Oh, cool. And y'all have
Yep.
room for more clients if people wanted to reach out?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, cool.
absolutely. I have a whole like separate page. I do post like about client stuff on my page too, but I have a separate like Valkyrie Fit coaching page that if anyone wants to check that out, you certainly can. Lots of client testimonials on there and progress updates. Like I have a woman, I will never get over this because it's just great. She's 68 years old and she's dropped like 40 pounds.
Wow. That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. And just
Congratulations.
I've only increased her food since we started. Like we haven't even done like a legitimate cut. It's just been being consistent, doing training, like making her feel better and feeding her with the proper foods. And it's been awesome.
Wow. Congratulations. That's great. Sounds
Yeah.
like a
She's a badass.
real inspiring person too. That's awesome. Yeah. I was curious if you're working with any current pro athletes too.
Um, Not currently. We had someone turn pro in figure last year, 2025. She's just doing off season on her own right now, but we still stay in contact like pretty closely. We've worked with a women's physique competitor, a pro athlete there. I've had a couple of pro natural competitors as well.
Oh,
So have
cool.
experience with that. Just not currently have anybody on our roster yet. I have a lot of young competitors, which is fun too.
That's cool. And is that basically your full-time job is doing the coaching business?
Yeah, I have coaching and then I do have like another job, another full-time job that
Oh,
I
wow.
do like logistical work for.
Okay.
And that's fun too, just because I have a master's in business. So I'm like, I got coaching to a point where like I can be really efficient with my time and still give clients what they need. And then I was able to open up more time for another job. So I was like, I might as well build this also while we're still trying to grow coaching as well.
Yeah.
So I have more room for people. I will cap it at like 70 probably, just because
Okay.
I don't want the quality of coaching to go away. And then that's why I want to bring on a few more coaches, to mentor them and coach them and have them help people too,
Okay.
and things like that. So I don't want to be a coach that has 100 plus clients. Like that's just not my, it's not my business plan or anything like that. Like I wanted to have like really good customized coaching.
Sure, sure. I got you. I understand. That's pretty cool though. And it with your is that your logistics job is is outside job, right? I mean, where you get benefits and everything. Because that I think that's a plus because I think these days, especially with health insurance so expensive and
Mm-hmm.
retirement and everything, it's just nice to be able to
Mm-hmm.
work for the man for the benefits and the salary, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I had health insurance like on my own all of last year, and then I started this new job November of 2025.
Uh-huh.
So I don't have health insurance right now because we're kind of like working through some things in upper management to change that up. So I'll get it eventually again, but it's just like, yeah, to renew my health insurance this year for the same plan for like less benefits was going to be like $600 a month. And I was like, there's no
No.
point in me even having that. Like,
Yeah, it's so expensive.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna end up just paying more money for like a maybe that could possibly happen. And then I'd
Hmm.
rather just like take the risk and just if I have to go to the hospital or emergency room because I broke my leg or something, then I'll just pay it out of pocket, I guess, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's it's so expensive now, and it's hard to do on your own. And
Mm-hmm.
I know the tax credits for Obamacare expired basically, so that's not good
Yeah.
too. So yeah, um, I was curious. In terms of prep, what would you say is the most challenging aspect of prep for you?
Oh boy. Um, Honestly, just probably my time. Because I'm so busy, like, because I have two jobs and then I have, my family life and like I am like a bonus mom to Tyler's two girls and stuff. And this is the first prep I've had with like two kids I have to worry about too. And
Uh-huh.
so like prep itself is not stressful. It's the other things around it of like just managing my time properly in order to get all of my cardio in, to get my training in on time, to switch things around when we have stuff with the kids going on, all of that kind of stuff. So I guess that would be the biggest struggle. Obviously you get hungry, you get tired. That's just kind of like how prep goes. But
Yeah.
the timing aspect, like because I'm not just full-time coaching, like I do have to worry about like my schedule and making sure I make my time efficient and work for me. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's probably the biggest thing I would say.
I understand. Make sure you have enough time for sleep too, because sleep is important too.
Yeah. That's been the hardest part. Like during the week, it's maybe like 6 hours, which isn't terrible, but 8 hours would be ideal.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. No, I hope you can, but I know that's a lot to juggle too. I know.
Hmm.
Um, I was curious as a coach, what and a competitor, what would you say, what advice could you give to ladies who are looking for a good coach? Like, what should they be looking for?
I would say like do your research. Like interview the coach. Like don't just get on a call with them to let them pitch you what they offer because
Uh-huh.
everyone's going to tell you like I can get you where you want to be, obviously. Like that's what their job is. But do you vibe with them? Are they doing proper health protocols for you? Are they more worried about getting people on stage versus like your long-term health. Like, don't just go with somebody because they tell you what you want to hear, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like,
Hmm.
and that's honestly why I went with Luke because I was like a little intimidated by him. And I was like, I don't want someone that's going to be like my friend as a coach, like someone who's going to be friendly, of course, but
Yeah.
when you have that kind of relationship, like for me at least, anyways, like that's kind of like your friend, you kind of are like, like it'll be okay. Like they'll let this slide. Like it'll be all right. And I like to think I do the same thing with my clients of like I really care about them and like we can joke around, have a good time and like I know about their lives outside of bodybuilding, but at the same time like I'm still going to be like, "Hey, like I'm going to be a little hard on you and like you kind of fucked up with this or something," and not be afraid
Yeah.
to tell them that and that they can take correct criticism properly and know that it's not personal. And that's the biggest thing. So
Yeah,
definitely do your
yeah.
research. Like, don't just go with the cheapest person either. You don't have to go with the most expensive person, of course.
Uh-huh.
So it's just a matter of like who you drive with, like look at their past athletes. Do they coach people that um you want to look like, or do they have the physique you want to look like, or what all do they offer, kind of thing. So because I know that there's with coaching lots of different ways people do it. So
I was thinking it's helps, I think, to speak with some of their athletes too and just kind of get
yeah.
their honest opinion, like,
Hmm.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's a helpful thing too.
And I did know a couple people that worked with Luke prior to myself working with him. And I had been kind of he had one that's been on my radar for a while. Like I think I've followed him since like 2018, and I was always like in my head like when I'm good enough, I'm gonna have him as a coach. And then I was
Oh,
like a pro, and I was like, "Oh wait, I'm a pro now. Like I think I could probably like he could coach me." So
uh-huh.
I did talk to some people that had him as a coach and asked like how they like his process, like is his communication good? Like does he get back to you on time? Like that kind of thing. So uh yeah, and then I just had a call with him, and then I interviewed a couple other coaches, and I just was like I kind of am just leaning this way.
Sure. Oh,
So
that's good. It sounds like, yeah, that's good. You kind of had him in mind for a while though as a coach, so that's good
hmm.
that you end up getting to work with him.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Um, Now in terms of Tyler, does he support your bodybuilding career? It sounds like he does. Because he's helping you as the coach too, so which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. He is like the most supportive person I've ever had in my life. Like and supportive in the way of like he's gonna be an asshole when he needs to be. Like the other day, he was just telling me about, he's like, honey, like this sauce has a little bit of like calories in it. You probably shouldn't eat that. And I was just like kind of sad about it. And he's like, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like I'm just looking out for you. And like
Yeah.
I know. But he's very supportive, and like he has always like we've like known each other for a long time before we started dating, and
Oh, cool.
he's just like watched my entire journey like since I've moved to Fargo, which is like pretty cool. And I never knew that before we
Oh,
started
very cool.
dating. And so
Uh-huh.
he's kind of always been there and like always supported me in everything. And like he's works with me in my off season. And like when we went down to meet with Luke, we went down to Texas to train with him just to make
Okay.
sure that I got cues properly and like change up anything that he wanted me to change up. And Tyler came with to make sure that he could look out for what Luke wanted. And like Luke made him a part of that process, which also was very awesome to see. And that
That's
he's
great.
like just all in with it. So he's very supportive, and I just so grateful.
That's awesome. No, that sounds really cool, and that's great that he came down to meet with your coach like that too.
Hmm.
Um, Now, I know we talked about living in North Dakota, which not many people there, and I don't think there's many bodybuilders there, but do you have like a bodybuilding community there that
We do.
yeah?
We actually like the gym I go to, it's called Evolution Fitness. So anybody watching this, if you go anywhere and any reason to come to Fargo for the gym, because the owner's a friend of mine. He's like one of the first people I met when I moved to Fargo, and just genuine person. Like he's handpicked every piece of equipment that's in there. He's constantly upgraded it. Like it's got some really cool pieces. It's got some old pieces. It has like interesting stuff. Like we have a really good layout. We have a posing room. So like it's clean. Like and there's it's not a very big bodybuilding community. So like there's
Yeah,
bodybuilders here, yes, but like and I love it because I get to be a part of making this part of our culture of this community. So I like to really try to put on as much as I can as far as like giving back to the bodybuilding community and like doing posing sessions and seminars and as much as I can with that. And like the gym community is great at Evolution. So I highly recommend if anyone's going to come up to Fargo, come here for that.
terrific. That sounds really cool. It sounds like a good place to work out and everything. Um,
Yeah.
um, I'll make sure to include down below in the comments too, or the description, the link to it is,
Yeah.
yeah, as well as Valkyrie. I'll make sure to mention that too.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's nice to have that because I could see where Fargo might be too small to actually have a decent gym, you know. You know what I mean? It could
Yeah,
might not
and
be that way.
we used to have like a really big show here. Like 2017 when I did it, it was the NPC Upper Midwest, and that was the show that was around here. And there was like over 100 competitors that would compete.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
and then at one point he made it into a figure pro show with like Candace Lewis. So it
Oh
was the
yeah?
Candace Lewis Carter Pro figure.
Oh wow.
And he did that for a couple years. And I think we also had Classic Physique one year for pros. So it did become big, and then COVID hit, and then it just kind of like went
Mm,
downhill, which kind of sucks.
yeah.
But we're so close to the Twin Cities in Minnesota. Like it's about a 4 hour drive, but for us,
Oh yeah.
it's like not that bad.
It's not bad at all. Yeah.
So a lot of us go over there for like the Twin Cities Open for that show. That's
Uh-huh.
a really good community show that we have around here. And there's another more gyms down there too. But for our community in Fargo, like we do have a pretty good base now and stuff. And like as a pro myself, and for not being as there's many pros here, I just want to make sure that I give back to the community and I promote bodybuilding in a good, healthy way, and that I help develop more athletes. Like I want to keep bringing more people to the NPC because it's changed my life. So like could change somebody else's, you know?
That's awesome. That's very cool. Yeah, that's closer to the Twin Cities than I thought too. That's not that bad. And that's
Mhm.
quite a big area, big city for sure. So
Yeah. Yep. There's a lot of gyms down there. So,
yeah, been in the news too with all the crazy
oh yes.
craziness going on.
So I'm glad I don't live there. I'm like, we're far enough away. Like, I don't need to live there, but yeah.
Yeah, too many too many news crews. It's just a little crazy over there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, um, and I was curious, do your parents support your bodybuilding efforts?
Yeah, my dad, he loved it. Like he was probably my biggest supporter other than Tyler is now. But he came to every single show. He even though like so he had a stroke 2016.
Mm.
Um, and so he like was a little handicapped after that, and he still would make an effort to come to my shows, and he was telling everyone all the time about like my daughter's a bodybuilder and stuff, and like it was always really nice to have him. My mom supports it too. She just of course is like worried about like, "Oh, Kayla, you're just too skinny," and like stuff like that. I'm like, "I'll be fine. Like I'm gonna
Uh,
gain weight again. Like it'll be all right."
yeah,
Typical mom that worries and stuff, but no, my
sure.
dad was like one of my biggest supporters, and like it made me feel really good. And it was funny, like even after like he passed away, I had to like take care of all of his stuff and everything, and I had to call his lawyer, and he's like, "Oh, are you the daughter that's like the bodybuilder?" And I was like,
Oh,
"Yeah, that's me."
oh,
So
that's sweet.
it
Oh,
was just really cool to have like to hear other people like talk about it, because like I just knew that like he was super proud of me. So that's
yeah.
also why I like continue to do it, because it's just, you know, not for him, but like it was something that made my dad proud, and I've always been a daddy's girl, so, you know.
Oh, that's sweet. I'm sorry that he passed away. That yeah, but
Yeah, yeah, really crazy thing. He just brain tumor popped up and couldn't do anything about it.
wow. How old was he when he passed?
52.
Oh my gosh, that's like my
Yeah.
age actually. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy. And like, so he had a glioblastoma. And those, they don't really know where it comes from. It can just kind of happen. And so like it had nothing to do with his stroke that he had. Um, Nothing hereditary that it can come from. It can just kind of happen. And it did, unfortunately.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, my I have a daughter who's 20 and I just yeah, and I'm really proud of her too. So but yeah, I just can't imagine. I'm sorry that you lost him so young like that. So
Hmm.
does your mom come to your bodybuilding shows?
Yeah, she's been to quite a few. This next year, I'm like, I don't want anyone really to come. I just like want it to be small, like because it's just a lot of pressure. So I'm
Yeah.
like, you can watch the live stream, but like that's it. But she's always been supportive, and she came down to San Antonio. Yeah, my pro debut. She came to that one for sure.
Oh, that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah. Now you mentioned Tyler has two kids. How old are the kids?
They are going to be 7 here in a couple weeks.
Seven other twins?
They're twins.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Hmm.
And what do they think about your bodybuilding career? Are they supportive?
They love it. They're very interested in it. I don't know if they quite understand it fully, but they've seen pictures. They ask us all the time, like, can we see videos of you guys training at the gym? And like, they want to come to the gym with us, which is fun. They always ask me, like, I've been teaching them gymnastics too, so like that's always fun. And they're like, Kayla, can we play gymnastics and like teach them how to do handstands and like stretch and stuff and like do exercise? Like they ask, like dad, make us do some jumpy jacks or something or push-ups and like so
Oh,
we
cool.
do that with them and like they enjoy it. They like to play with my heels, of course, and like see all the girly things of it and whatnot. So yeah, they really like it.
They're identical twin girls?
Fraternal.
Fraternal twin girls?
Yep.
Oh, wow, that's cool. Very cool. Wow, that's
Hmm.
exciting. Maybe they'll be future bodybuilders themselves. So that'd be cool.
Maybe
Yeah.
if they choose not to, like it's not a big deal. I'm not ever gonna push them into that, of course. I'm just gonna promote being healthy
Uh-huh.
and whatever that looks like for them is great. But yeah, if they want to get into it and do more training and learn how to lift weights, then absolutely, I'm all for that.
That's awesome. Very cool. That's great. Um, well, I just have a few more questions for you. I was curious, do you ever find it hard to keep up with demands of social media? And I was thinking you're young, so I think it's helpful to be young with social media because you're kind of raised with it. You know how to use the damn thing, you know.
Well, I mean, in all honesty, I hate social media.
Real? Yeah.
Hate it. It is my biggest downfall when it comes to like being a content creator and stuff. Like I just kind of post when I feel like it. And
Hmm.
like I know with like coaching and like being a bodybuilder, like you have to post to like keep people coming. But there was a
Yeah.
point in time where like I was posting, like I felt pressured to post, and then I couldn't make it authentic to me. And that's where I like started to really hate it. And so now I'm just like, I'm just gonna post like a couple times a week, do something with clients, do something about like my own bodybuilding stuff. And then like if I post beyond that, cool. If not, like cool. So I took a lot of pressure off of myself to post, and it's actually made it a lot better because now
That's
I can
good.
actually be authentic about what I post about and not
Uh-huh.
have to feel this pressure of like I need to be a content creator. Like, no, I'm not a content creator. I'm a coach. Like my results will speak for themselves. Like that's kind of what I put my money on, I guess, is that it's like I would rather have that than try to just post content and put all my time into that, you know? Like
Sure.
that's kind of how I think about it.
I think that's smart. And I think it's good to have a plan in terms of how often you post and you don't have to post so frequently, but having
Hmm.
a regular posting I think is probably good. And
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah, it's the same thing as everything else. Like if you're just consistent with it and you do it, it's gonna work. It's gonna pay off. But like I physically can't do every single day and post about something every single day. It's just
yeah,
it's too much. And I get so burnt out with it and just so that it just makes me hate it and just not even want to be on it. Like when I'm done bodybuilding and coaching, I will probably just not have social media at all.
sure. No, I understand. I was curious, some ladies when they're and you're pretty close to triple O coming up here, but do you kind of like don't look at social media because you don't want to compare yourself to other ladies and such? Or
In a sense, yeah. Like I used to it used to bother me more, I guess. And like I would put more pressure on myself, but this prep I actually feel like really good and and not even really good in the sense of like I feel like I'm gonna do well at the show. Like I just I feel happy about where I'm at and like I know I'm coming in better, so like that should mean I'm gonna do better. But in the sense of like I also don't need to compare myself to other people. Like I know I'm gonna be the smallest one, but again, being small doesn't matter. It's the proportion and everything else that comes with it. And
yeah. Hmm.
the number of followers I have doesn't matter, to the judges. So it's just a matter of like, yeah, I just don't want to get into my head about it. So I'm not trying to like avoid it necessarily, but I'm also not seeking it out either. So I think that
Sure.
that's like a healthy balance.
I think that's good. I think that's a good way of looking at it too. I was curious, do you ever have to deal with like any nasty trolls or overbearing fans? Because, fans got to behave and the trolls need to be blocked, I think.
I've had my fair share of like negative comments. I've had like, oh, this looks gross kind of thing, or like I used to also do some powerlifting, and like I was like posting a picture, like a post of my bench press, and like, why do you arch your back like that? That's like cheating or whatever. And I'm like, if you actually knew what it was, then no. And so I just ignore it most of the time. I've had weird requests in my DMs before about like, can I pay you to feel your biceps? And I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay alive. I would like to not be murdered. Thank you very much. But please
Yeah,
and thank you. And they just get blocked and it's just okay. So yeah, I luckily I haven't had like too much, crazy things happen. Like I've heard of some bad things, but also I feel like if you don't feed into it, then it just doesn't continue.
yeah. I think the weird people are looking for attention, and
Oh yeah. That's
yeah,
what that's all it is like people can sit behind a keyboard or a screen and just sit there and type whatever they want, and they just want the attention for it, whether negative or positive. So I just, yeah, most of the time if anyone's going to put something negative, I just delete it and I'm just like, move on, because that doesn't not worth my energy.
that's smart. I think. Yeah, not get let it get in your head or anything too. So
Hmm.
yeah. I was curious, what do you think is like the most maybe misunderstood aspect or maybe the biggest myth about bodybuilding by the general public? And how do you respond when you're confronted with that myth?
I love this question because to me, the most misunderstood part is that it's all about your physique. Because yes, you get judged on your physique, but and like you might get into it because you're like, I want to look better. I want to, get bigger muscles or whatever. But in the end, it's about like building your character and your resilience, your discipline, your perseverance. Because like everything that I've learned in bodybuilding has applied to every other aspect of my life.
Okay.
And so for me, it's not about the physique. And like yes, I look great right now, but like I prefer to be a little heavier. Like I don't prefer to sit here. Like at one point in my life, sure, I was like, I want to be lean and I want to be like ripped and stuff, but I'm like, but now I'm like, nah, I would prefer to like have a little more body fat and like just feel good.
Yeah,
And
sure.
it's more so about the process versus like the outcome for all of that. So that's I think why I've sticked with bodybuilding so much is that like the process each time gets better and you get new challenges and you overcome new things, and that's just like the cool part about it.
Yeah, there's a big mental aspect that I don't think people understand, but there's a lot of mental
Hmm.
toughness I think that's involved in it. Um and I think it's amazing too, just the transformation that y'all go through with your physique, I
Hmm.
just like all the phases that y'all go through, but
Yeah, it's like people think it's such a vain sport, and like in a sense it is for sure because you're literally just judged on how you look. But at the same time, if you go beyond that part of it and like what you're learning about yourself in the process is so much more than like anything you could do, because you
mhm.
do have to rely on just yourself and just your own like confidence to be like, I can be judged from other people and like I could come in at my best and look great, but I could just not be picked that day. And
Mhm.
that's okay because the next day, whether I win or if I lose, I'm still gonna go train and I'm still gonna go do the things. Like it's not gonna affect anything that I do. I'm still gonna go do the thing the next day. Like it doesn't change.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Um, and I think that's good for other people to hear that too. I think,
Hmm.
um, I was curious, do you ever deal with like post-show blues? And I know you got, of course, a show coming up here soon. And if so, how do you cope with them?
I mean, yeah, I feel like in some places it's been harder than others for sure. Um, there's always like that hard part of like I think mostly it's the routine aspect of like you just get so like dead focused on like just this one thing in this bodybuilding that when you're done you're kind of like, what do I do now? And
Yeah.
you're kind of like, what do I do with all this time? Because like now I'm not doing so much cardio, and I can be a little more flexible with my food and whatnot. And I think that's where some people kind of like fall off too. But at the same time, if you keep yourself busy, if you continue like to put that focus into other things, like that also can keep you going in the right direction and not let you like kind of spiral down. Um, I think that's the biggest part of it is just for me, the routine aspect of like how do I keep this routine, and but also let myself recover and relax a little bit too.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's important, that recovery and relaxing. Um, but I think that from the ladies I've spoken with, there's almost like a void when the prep ends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way to put
And
it. It's kind of like this like, well, now what?
yeah, how do
And
you?
because I mean, when you're first starting out, like yes, the uncertainty and like the fear of like, am I going to gain too much weight? Sure, of course. But now that I've done this enough times, I'm like, okay, I'm ready to put on some weight. I'm ready for more food. I know what's going to happen, kind of thing.
Hmm.
But for me, it's more so just like the routine aspect and just the like, what do I put my focus onto now?
Yeah, I gotcha. And I think that ladies have to be prepared for that. They have to find something to fill that void,
Hmm.
and think about that in advance. And I think there's some body dysmorphia too that happens because you go from like looking for like a superhero to looking more like a normal person.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the body dysmorphia part is like when you become a bodybuilder, it's just always there, no matter what. Like when you're lean, you're still too small. When you're in your off season, you're too fat. Like, but in all reality, like you're not like either of those things. It's just you just see yourself in a different light in that way.
Yeah, I agree. That's where I think having a coach is good too, because I think a coach can give you the eye that you can't trust your own eye per se when you have that body
Hmm.
dysmorphia. So.
Yeah, having a coach, having like a partner and like friends who also can like call you out on that and like, not sit there and like coddle you, but like reassure you that like no, like you're doing fine, and
hmm
just give you some logic because sometimes we're just not very logical in our own brains.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Yeah. Well, that's about it for me in terms of questions. I was wondering if there's anything I missed that you'd like to address or anybody you'd like to shout out.
Oh gosh. I think we covered a lot, but I guess if I could like shout out anybody, it would be like my coach, Luke. Like, so thank you. J3 University, check it out. They're awesome. My boyfriend Tyler, because he is just an amazing person and my best friend. Um, I guess like sponsors and everything like that. You want me to go through that too?
Yeah, do you have some sponsors?
Yeah, Krista with KH Customs does my suits. She's amazing. I'm so pumped to wear my new suit this year. So if you guys want posing suits or like show suits or anything like that, jewelry, accessories, go check out KH Customs. Let them know that Kayla sent you. And then supplements, I use Accent Sledge. They're awesome. Seth
Yeah,
Feroce is great with all of his products. Again, code Kayla there, and then authentic aminos for any sort of like peptides or recovery, anything there that you need. Again, code Kayla. So thank you so much for everything.
that's awesome. Very cool. Yeah, I know about Accent Sledge. I know they're quite a good company and they've been around for a while.
Yeah, he's got really good quality products too. It's not just like he has great flavors and of everything and stuff, but like the quality of the products is like why I chose them, and also just like his whole mantra of like HWMF, like blue collar, all that kind of stuff. Like being from North Dakota, I really resonate with that. So yeah.
That's awesome. Very cool. And congratulations on having sponsors. Are you interested in getting more sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'm always open for the idea. Like, as long as it's like a company that I agree with what they're doing and like their products, like I'm not going to be a person that just like puts products out because someone's like paying me to do so, but
Yeah.
if I were to get like a full sponsorship from one of those places, like I would be happy about it too.
Okay,
So
very
if Seth
cool.
Feroci's listening,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
all
very
for
cool.
that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Kayla. I really appreciate your time, and it was a great interview. And I think you're kind of wise beyond your years, being so young. You just seem like a very wise person. So it's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. This was fun. I'm glad I got to share a lot of my experience and just the little bit of knowledge I have. Like I still feel like sometimes I'm such like a newbie when it comes to, being a pro, but I've been doing this for my whole adult life in all reality. So, there's that. So, yeah.
No, I think it's great. I think and yeah, best wishes with your coaching company too, and
Thank
and
you.
having y'all get some more clients as well, but not too many, like you said. Yeah.
Gotta keep
Um,
the quality up there.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, you got to keep the quality for sure. And like I said, I'll probably get this posted later today, so I'll tag you and tag the people we talked about down below as well. So, but
Okay,
but thanks
perfect.
again. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.